Aser abete perro begerto. Yeta perro begelo que comin. Bacarnis beaderto. Yirs beabegelo que comin. Genes hajo catarrota arrosanoto.
Shalom, 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 Ben Israel. Shalom, shalom, Boker Tov. Good morning, General, to all. So, I want to talk about men's critical thinking class. Just want to talk to the brothers. So, let's just say, put your brother on game. You're in a relationship, and the relationship has been dissolved. It's no more. Why would you, let's give an example, 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, you meet another young lady. Or you meet, I don't know, you might have 3 or 4 wives. Why would you allow your new woman or your new wives to come into a house? They have to sit on the same old toilet seat that their previous wife or their previous wives have sat on. That don't make no sense. I need Shote coffee as a young Boker Tov. I drink some coffee on this Shote coffee, Boker Tov. How much does it cost to change the toilet seat? It doesn't cost that much. Let me give you an example. This is a toilet seat. It's not expensive. You can go and buy a new toilet seat. This don't cost a lot. But sometimes men don't think that way. They will allow the new woman to sit on the old toilet seat that the previous wife or girlfriend or whatever have sat on. This don't make no sense. Go and change the toilet seat. But sometimes as men, we lack critical thinking ourselves. So this is stuff I had to learn myself, so I'm telling you from experience, right? When you enter into a new relationship with new people, if you're a man, got your own house, change the toilet seat. And you know that this new woman, y'all like each other, and she could be a potential future wife. Change the toilet seat, okay? I'm not talking about when you go to a hotel and things like that. Of course, when you go to a hotel, you want to bring some cleaning stuff. You should, and you shouldn't be sitting on by the toilet, butt bone naked. Put some cover on that toilet. Do something. I wouldn't recommend sitting on the toilet. But my Botox. You don't want to catch nothing. But these are simple things that we don't do. We will enter into new relationships with the same old mess when we should be entering into new relationships, new mind, new thinking. And these are things, again, as men, this come from trial and tribulation, this come with wisdom growing. But let's just think about it for a second. Why would I bring a new female into my home, into my relationship, and want her to come into a nasty house, or come into a nasty room, nasty kitchen, nasty bathroom? As men, we need to learn how to clean the house too, just in case something happened to our wife or our wives, that the house should not go down. We should know how to cook a simple basic meal for ourselves, to feed the children, feed ourselves. These are things that we should do. But this young generation, what they want to do is they want to meet these sisters on YouTube, Facebook, and, I want to teach you the word. And some of these sisters go to some of your brother's houses. The house nasty, spider webs in the corner, They don't even clean the ceiling fan. This is pathetic. It shouldn't be that way. This thing go for the sisters too. The worst thing you can do is meet you a nasty woman or meet you a nasty man. That's just horrible. You know, we got to talk about this stuff. Take a bath, take a shower. I don't care what you do, but just keep your body clean. Now, what else I learned? You got so many people nowadays, especially nowadays, they want to teach the word. Well, come on, I want to teach you the word. I want to teach you the word of God. You come on and follow me. Well, you may be following a crazy person, or you may be getting with a crazy woman. Man, listen. Seek wisdom. Seek the help of the elders. That's what I highly recommend. Again, dealing with the men's. You brothers that's single, you got your own place. Don't enter a new relationship. And I'm just using something simple as a toilet seat. And have your new woman set on a toilet seat that your previous woman have sat on. It will make more sense that your new woman come into your life. That you have things set up all new for her. And not the same old stuff you give your previous woman. These simple things as men, we again, you know, stuff I didn't know, stuff I'm sharing this morning I didn't know, discover again, trial and error, and learn myself as a man. To sit on a toilet seat, the previous woman or females have sat on and mess up. And I respect for your new woman or your new wife, then you should be able to change the toilet seat. If you have to change the whole toilet, change the whole toilet. Ain't nothing but two bolts, okay? It's two bolts, all right? If you can't change the flapper, inbox me, then I'll show you how to change the flapper. If you can't change the toilet, inbox me, and I'll show you brothers how to change the toilet. It's simple and easy, okay? Change the wax seal and everything. Don't change the toilet and don't change the wax seal. Change the wax seal, change the toilet. Okay? Change the handle. Do whatever you gotta do. But this is how things that we like knowledge. It's not about beating a brother up or beating a sister up. Again, I'm dealing with the men's class, men's critical thinking 101, is being ethical and learning from the older men's that's ethical how to lead by example. Some people cannot lead by example. They're horrible leaders. Some men can get females, or some men do get females. They run them. They run them because they're so feminine, and they want that female to be perfect. Well, brothers, let me tell you something. Every female you meet in your life will come with some baggage, will come with some issues, but you got to be skillful and wise enough to know how to deal with that woman. Okay? She might come with all type of issues and emotions, and you got to be skillful enough to be able to deal with those emotions and things like that. All right? But don't get to the point where you just, well, I want to teach you the word. I'll show you a profile picture on social media. I think you'll be a good candidate for me to bring you in for a second wife, a third wife, or bring you in for a first wife. Man, listen, brothers, deal with your own conscious mind emotions first, right? So if you've been hurt by your mom, your dad, and your ex-girlfriend, and now you're raising hell with these new females you meet on social media, meet online, and you're running them, then the problem may not be with the female. The problem may be with you, that you need healing as men. Yes, as men, we need healing. Yes, we definitely need healing. As men, we need a accountability partner. As men, we need to talk to other men to show us how to be better husbands, or potential husbands, better providers, um, and better businessmen, how to deal with our finances and how to pay our bills on time and things like that. And these are things we got to talk about. But man, Israel, and we want to walk around with Kopal, Kazik's on, and all type of crazy mess. And we just crazy. We like Beavis and Butthead. Let's be honest. But these are simple things we don't think. We don't think about it. We don't think about our fakest men, how our children and grandkids are looking at us as role models, how other young men in the community are looking at us as role models, and how to be and learn to be ethical. I always raise two hands. I know how to be unethical. That's I've been there. So now, as I got older, I learned how to be ethical and don't put myself in certain situations where it's going to cause me to be unethical. Now, don't get it twisted now. Sometimes certain situations would cause for you to be unethical, meaning that you might have to do some things to set boundaries with people. And what am I saying, brothers? When you enter into new relationships, it's always good during the courting process to set boundaries, right? With your new spouse or with the person, a potential wife that either wives have or many, y'all prefer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to be King Solomon. You want to set boundaries, and you want to lead those sisters by a good example. Okay? What you don't want to do is mislead these sisters, mistreat these sisters, because again, if you got daughters, no man in his right mind, they have daughters, is going to mistreat his woman. Let me say it again. No man in his right mind, I said second time, his right mind going to mistreat his woman, mistreat his wives if he have daughters. Because how would you feel if someone mistreat your daughter, smack her up, or hurt her emotions, hurt her feelings? Baby girl coming back and say, well, daddy, I'm hurt. And no man's right mind want to see their daughter hurt, okay? By another human being, whether male or female, but again, I'm dealing with the men's. So with that being said, teaching our daughters and teaching our young sons and grandsons how to be ethical and how to present themselves. When time for war, okay? Teach them how to protect themselves. But it starts with us men as a role model within our own homes, okay? I don't need my wife to get a duster to dust off the ceiling fans and different things that I'm a clean person. So I'm going to do that myself, lead by example, right? But I say about the toilet seat, some simple things like that we were not taught, as men. We get our own place, our first apartment, and then we say, okay, we go from girlfriend to girlfriend. Then she's coming, okay, she using the bathroom, she's sitting on this toilet behind this woman. And these are things we're not thinking, well, is it that serious? Yeah, that's serious, because you got DNA, you got diseases and all type of stuff. So change the toilet seat. And I'm using the toilet seat in the bathroom is like changing our mindset. Enter into something new. When you enter into something new, you're entering with growth, development. You're not thinking like you used to think. You're maturing into the main of Yah. Okay? And these are simple things that will enable us and carry on the new relationship, right? So it's like y'all made a covenant but with Bnei Israel, with the children of Israel. Inside that covenant, that bridge, there was rules and regulation. If you do this, I will do that. If you don't do this right here, this is going to be your repercussion. The same thing with a marriage, the same thing this relationship is setting boundaries. With those boundaries come a new mind, renewed mind. Okay? Simple things. That's like a man. It's like a man with 2 pair of socks. With common sense, some men might not know, well, brother, you want to change your underwear every day. You want to change your socks every day. You want to change your clothes every day. And sometimes you have to teach young men how to conduct themselves and do things like that. You want to make sure you bathe daily. Take a bath, especially summertime with all this heat. You don't want to work out here, work all day long, come home stinking, and get in the bed. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a good look, and especially you trying to lead this woman, right? What woman in her mind want a stinking man? Feet stink. Okay, if you got bad feet, okay, put some baking soda in your shoes. Okay, change your socks. Okay, the simple as that. All right, so you don't want to stink up your room. You want to stink up the bedroom. Another good thing I like to tell men is from time to time, pull your bed out and clean underneath your bed, because you will be surprised with all that dust and stuff underneath your bed. You don't want to invite to start dating a sister, a young woman, and then she put her shoes, you got your shoes underneath the bed, and she go and you say, well, baby, can you get my shoes? And she go underneath your bed, and but dust everywhere. Now she sneezes and she's sick because you never clean underneath your bed. And what I like to tell men is in my critical thinking class is pull out the stove, clean behind the stove, pull out the fridge, clean behind the refrigerator, move the couches, move the furniture, move the TV, clean behind, do a thorough cleaning in your house, because this is something that the Creator bless you with. So you should, again, common sense, should clean these things. And again, these are things that my mother raised us, we had to do, thorough cleaning as young men. And so and again, I understand a lot of us come from different backgrounds. But I like to always tell men, especially when they start having their own children, the example, do these things. Because think what's real. That woman go through enough. You have to cook, deal with the children, just deal with so much. A woman should not have to, not that she choose to, pull out the stove and clean behind the stove with all that grease. Wipe the side of the stove with all that grease and stuff, and wipe the candles, pull out the fridge and get all that dirt and trash from behind the fridge, things that have dropped behind the refrigerator over a period of time, okay? Clean behind the toilet, clean the side of the toilet, clean the tub real good. Keep everything, keep your house fresh, clean the windows, get some Windex. It's a simple thing, keep the dishes clean. Okay, just basic, keep your house clean, man. Right? Especially you trying to get a wife or you in a dating process, keep yourself up. It's very important. Now, are there some nasty men? Yes. Then this one is nasty. Just nasty. House nasty. That's the worst thing in the world to and again, I'm dealing with the man. For a young lady to meet a man where his outward appearance to look good, but you go to his house, the house nasty, the car nasty, don't even keep the inside of the house clean, don't even keep his car clean. Those are red flags right there. So, man, this is the type of person I want to be with, or am I desperate for a man? oh, I just want a man to teach me the word, and he can live like a savage. Well, that's the case. You and him need to go live in the cave. Yes, live in the cave. You crazy if you gonna settle for a man that is nasty. Something's wrong with you as a woman. And sometimes you have to tell our brothers and sisters that, you know, anybody who came to my classes, I'm not gonna sugarcoat to make you feel good. I'm gonna tell you what it is. But I'm telling you what it is to encourage you, not to hurt you, but I'm gonna be honest with you too. Because again, a lot of stuff we wasn't taught. And these are things we need to be retaught. How to conduct ourselves as men and elders and leaders, accountability partners, and different things like that within our community. You know, I love the word, but outside the word, there's life where we have to work, pay bills. Let me say this about bills. Here's another good example as a man. Is teaching men how to develop a business mindset into paying their bills on time if they can. So, I like to tell brothers, if you can, or work towards paying the majority of your bills the first of the month. If you can pay the majority of your bills the first of the month, and then between the first and the middle of the month, you're paying the small bills, you're able to see your money, you're able to see your wealth, you're able to see your earnings. What I've seen dealing with black men, not all but some, is that they will not pay their rent on time, not pay their mortgage on time, but they'll wait to the end of the month, middle of the month to pay. Now you put a restraint on yourself in your home. So if your rent is $1,500, $1,800, $2,000, whatever, your mortgage, whatever, work towards paying that big bill at the beginning of the month. Okay? Then throughout the month you can pay your other bills, and now you're able to see your wealth and see your money, and you're able to grow. Some brothers, they love clothes. Nothing wrong with clothes. I love clothes too. They'd rather go to the mall and spend all their money at the mall on clothes, and credit score is horrible. Credit score is like a 300, 400. As a man, in general, you want to make sure that you have good credit, decent credit for yourself. That's number one, in case something happens. In case you enter a relationship and, y'all forbid, you and this woman is no longer together, you need to be able to survive on your own until the Most High send you someone else. And the same thing goes for the female too. Keep your credit, your standard, your credit right. If you can pay cash, then pay cash. If you not pay cash, understand how credit works, understand how credit functions. It's very important. We can stand and teach Shabbat, teach Torah portion all day long. But one thing I always tell my students, listen, if you put yourself in a financial hardship after I have taught you and give you the wisdom, that's on you. You can't come to me because I'm not taking on your burden. You did that. Why should I take on your burden as a teacher when I don't give you the skill set and told you what to do? I'm not doing that. I would tell my students that. No, say what the hell you want to say. I'm not taking on your burden because you know better. That means you deviated from the instructions. So you figured out. And sometimes as leaders, men, we have to let our students crash sometime. If they want to be a crash dummy, let them be a crash dummy. Don't feel sorry for them. Don't you go out your way. No. Once you have what taught them, and you lead by example, if they choose to go in left field, that's on them. We shouldn't take on that burden. And that's why I tell men to do that, especially men of faith. Pay your bills and understand financial and create generational wealth. Get life insurance. Don't let nobody tell you don't need life insurance. Get life insurance on yourself, your family, your children, your spouse. Very important. See where a person spends most of their time at. Because if it's a person talking about the word more than talking about generation wealth and bills and family structure, you got to kind of watch them. Because it got to be a balance. Everybody love the word. Who don't have a scripture in their house? Nowadays, everybody have a Bible in their house. That's been there for years. But the thing outside the word, there's also life. There are also survival skills. Can you survive without a woman? Okay? Can you? Can you maintain your peace of mind without a woman until the Creator send you a woman? Either you out or y'all cross paths and y'all change numbers and it could be a potential spouse. Can you take care of this woman? First of all, can you take care of yourself? That's the first thing. Because if you cannot take care of yourself as a single man, you don't need no woman. You don't need to enter into no relationship because you cannot take care of yourself, right? Are you willing to go work at McDonald's, Burger King, Food Lion, Walmart until you can get a better job? At least you have some type of money coming in. Are you willing to do that? Well, sometimes pride will hurt us. Sometimes pride, we don't want to go work those jobs because we are prideful. Listen, I'm over 50 years old. You think I won't go work at McDonald's, Food Lion? I'd be a big black joke up in there. You just got to take your order. What would you like? A Happy Meal? You want a Whopper Jr.? I'll be right up in there working. Why? Because I'm a man. I'm going to do what I got to do to take care of myself and my family. Common sense, because I can't sit there and teach a word to the people, but then I'm suffering behind closed doors. I'm prideful because I don't want to work at certain jobs. That's no. You do what you got to do to make sure that you're able to take care of yourself and you lead by example. So before I let y'all go, brothers, again, I want y'all to understand, when you, or if you have your own home and you're in the process of dating or whatever, and you enter a new relationship, something simple, change the toilet seat. Of course, you can do a lot of other things you can change within the home, but don't have your new woman sit on the same seat that your previous woman used to sit on. And sometimes, again, we don't think like that. So now, if you one of them brothers that's a stone cold freak, then I would suggest you go and buy hundreds of these right here. Toilet seats and put inside your home. You know what I mean? You got some brothers, they're really freaks. Man, they just can't help themselves. And you got to be able to talk to them. Say, hey, brother, listen, man. You want to be like the color purple? You want to be like my man on color purple? Take a heart attack? You better, control yourself. That's a different story. But again, brothers and sisters, I love y'all. Shalom, shalom.
Bakarnish beaderto, yish beabega loge gumin. Genesh hacho katarota arushanoto.